Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine Sri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Aurarya Madhurya Gunai Sayuktam Varam Varenya Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Sirasa Namah त्रिदण्डीनां भक्तशिरोमणिं च श्रीकृष्णपादाब्जहृदयकमलं चैतन्यलीलामृतसारसारं नारायणं त्वं सततं प्रपद्ये। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Let me offer millions of the samsara devoted feet of the Guru Father Dham and Ishta Santa Pipala Vichara Samsanta Koti Dandavat. All present past future Vaishnavas, the Tavat Dandavat Pranam. Vancha Kalpataru Vyasya Krupa Sindhu Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Forgive me for the delay. Today is a new year in South India, most of the India. Yuga Adi. Yuga, beginning of the year. New year. Today is like New Year celebration. You might wonder, wait a minute, it is January 1st. The one symptom, this is the right time. Now it's like summer, spring, right? The trees are giving out new leaves. you know. So that is an indication, actually, New Year. The leaf, the tree gives up, sheds all its old leaves. 1 year. Some trees, nothing, no leaves. But now, today, it starts sprouting every new leaf. So that is an indication, according to uh, beginning, new beginning. And the combination they gave is bitter neem leaves, flower, and then jaggery combination. You are supposed to take. So that means in this next year, 1 year, sometimes you will have a bitter, incidences, and also maybe sweet incidences. So you have to take it with the equal uh, mindset. That's why they mix both, which is very bitter, neem leaves and then the flower, fresh flower, the neem flower, very small, and then the jaggery combination. So this is external, but internally, what it means is the neem is um, see the summer all tired and then prone to so many diseases. Neem is builds up the immune system and uh, it for the coming rainy season. It prepares us, the system. Um, and also the good is purify the blood. The neem also uh, is also purified blood in a different way. So it makes us healthy and so like that. Um, from an Ayurvedic perspective, it's a very healthy combination. So on the beginning of the day, beginning of the and taking ups and downs equal, uh, preparing ourselves. We should not get upset. Try to see Lord behind every incident that happens in our life. So that's why these incidences come so that we remember it. You know. One example is like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj. You see how what a test he was put into. Uh, but still he did not forget. And how glorious. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to give lecture for a long time, for a month long, on Prahlad Charita, Prahlad teachings also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he was so anxious to hear Prahlad teaching, Prahlad. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang the Narasimha prayer that we sing is all composed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. The mantras we sing. Uh, Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Yato Yato Ya Tato Narasimha Bhaye Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimhamadin Sharanam Prapade. This is composed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Narasimha is here. Is here. Is also there. Wherever I go, there is Narasimha. Outside Narasimha, in my heart Narasimha. So for such a Narasimha, Adi Narasimha, Moola Narasimha, the root of Narasimha, I surrender to him. Narasimha Mahadim Sharanam Prapade. Take shelter. Take shelter. Ah, mm. Dharma said in the like like setu, like what is bridge, the bridge for this Sat Dharma, auspicious real Dharma. In this one, it shows Lord Nrsimhadev is everywhere. You know, he is, he is everywhere. And Vibhu, uh, and one who is preaching Shuddha Bhakti. uh, and Lord Nrsimhadev actually protects. Is real. So, this is the life of Prahlad Maharaj. You know, in spite of so much escape, but he did not uh, he did not for a second he did not forget Narasimha. In a very difficult situations, see, very difficult situation, extremely harsh, he preached. Imagine his father, I mean, so demanding. But Prahlad was bold, honest, sincere. He was fearless. Imagine Indra becoming in front of Hiranyakashipu, you know, but still in front of him, he had no hatred. In spite of that, he had no hatred for Allah, anybody. So that's why Shuddha Bhakti, what, uh, so this prayer. Then Sri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha. Jai Jai Narasimha, Prahlad Desha, Jai Padma, Mukha Padma, Prunga. This is also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be. Namaste Narasimha. So is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's uh, so in the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. Uh, Sridhar Swami. He was worshipping Narasimha. So this Bhavartha Deepika, the commentary of Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to read. Used to recite. In that also, Sridhar Goswami, Sridhar Maharaj, he quotes praise to Narasimha. वागीशयस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य वक्षसि यस्यास्ते हृदयम् हृदये सेवितं तं नृसिंहं भजे. So, Vagesha Yasya Vadane, the tongue and the face. Vagdevi Saraswati. Vagesha is Vagesha Yasya Vadane. In the in Mukha in the thing. Lakshmi Saraswati. Lakshmi Yasacha Vakshasi. On the chest, Lakshmi is there. And in his heart, Yashaste Hridaya Samvit, Jnana. Huh? He is there. Huh? Right. Sitting place. Is Lord nursing their place, heart is sitting place of knowledge. And Vagdevi, like Saraswati. And then on the chest is Lakshmi. Huh? So such a Narasimha I gave away just to. So in this one, Bhakti Siddhanta one, Pati Narasimha. Huh? Bhakti Siddhanta, pure devotion, teaching. Huh? That is Saraswati. So Narasimha is considered as his husband. Huh? Pati. So Narasimha, by serving Narasimha, then what he get? So in real sense, the whole preaching is going on by worship of Narasimha. And also Narasimha Deva, any difficulties comes in the preaching, Shuddha Bhakti, he will destroy those obstacles. That's why in any sampradaya of Vaishnava, there are four sampradayas, all of them worship Narasimha. Uh, Even though, for example, we worship Radha Krishna, how come Radha Krishna is so great? Narasimha, how it is compatible? No, actually, it doesn't make any. Uh, uh, he's actually very helpful worship because he removes all the obstacles. Narasimha is no different from Krishna. Huh? Narasimha. Narasimha, Rama, and Krishna. You know, see, they are like Mahavishnu. They are no different. So that's why we should take the preaching of Narasimha for a long time. So, um, so such a Narasimha Swami first we pray. Um, and this Narasimha in the heart of Prahlad, Ahlada Swarupa, giving happiness like that. And he will remove the ignorance from the devotees. And then is like a moon, Sharas calling, having face of like lion. Mm. Such a personality we pay obeisance. Actually, Sri Hari is the only is only Vigna Vinasha. meaning one who removes, destroys all the Vijnana. Rake Hari Mare Ke. So if one is protected by Hari, then who can kill him? So so if there is a difficulty, if there is obstacles in bhakti, huh, we have to take shelter of Sri Hari. So like Brahma and Shiva and other demigods, they can remove some of the shortcomings. They can remove. They can give some wealth, this and that. But when they themselves get into big trouble, Brahma and Shiva, sometimes you have seen, you know, got into trouble so many times. Then what they will do? Even when Brahma and Shiva get into trouble, and they say, Trahi Madhusudana, they remember the Lord Hari. You know, Please save me. So the thing is, when Brahma and Shiva himself praying to Narasimha, ah, saving from the difficulties, why not human beings should not pray to Narasimha Dev? This is a question. So, for the Vignamina, to remove the difficulties, all the obstacles, Lord Hari takes very special form, you know, and that's what is Narahari, Narahari. You know. Uh, Nara is like a human, Hari. केशवदूत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे केशवदूत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. This is Dashavatara Stotra. Huh? Tamil. So in this one, uh, by remembering Narahari, huh, huh, now the obstacles will go away. Uh, by remembering Narasimhadev, even the servants of Yama, they will also they will run away. Uh, so then what to speak of anybody else? No? So, so Narahari Bhagavan in the Vaikuntha, so many unlimited Vaikunthas. He is in one of the Vaikuntha, Narasimha, he is the Adeshwara, he is the Supreme Lord there. So there he is residing there as the husband of Saraswati and Lakshmi. And also all the Prahalad and all his eternal associates, they stay eternally there. He is four-handed form of Vishnu. And is the Dakshina. He has a chakra, Sudarshan chakra. Um, in the bottom hand, left side. And the upper, on the top, he has a Padma. On the right side, Gada on the bottom, he has a uh, Shankar. And the effulgence is like a moon, very cooling. Uh, his whole body. And his face is like a lion, form of a lion. And the remaining body is like a human. That's why it's called Narahari, meaning Hari here meaning lion. You have to understand. One of the name for in Sanskrit, one of the name for lion is also Hari. Hari. So that's why it's called Narahari. Narasimha, Narasimha, Nrusimha, Nrohari, Rupacha, Rupachasya, like that. But when we remember lion, uh, when we remember lion, we see very powerful, very fearful, like animal, When we remember lion, wow, that's what comes to our mind. But by nature is very, very gambira, very sturdy. And then also nature is very uh, himsa, meaning violent. you know. Right. So, uh, but compared to all other animals, there is some speciality with lion. huh, Some worship. That's why it's called Pashuraja, meaning for all animals, it's like a king, lion. huh, Lion. Lion is like king of all animals, something like that. But even though he is very, very uh, intolerable, or like appears very uh, powerful to other animals, very uh, powerful, strong. Uh, but towards his own children, he is very soft. He is hard, attacking or something like that with other animals. They all fear. But his own children, child, these small babies, lion baby, they don't feel he is very soft towards them. They will not feel any is hardness, they lie. Same way, Sri Lord Narasimha for abhaktas, meaning non-devotees, is like like lion, very hard, very fearful, and is like almost like a personified death for the non-devotees. But for the towards devotees, he has a Vatshalya Swabhava, Vatsalya, like a parental affection, you know. So, who grow, anugraha evayam swabhaktanam keshari keshariva swapotanam anyai tamugra vigraha. So that's why is for others, non-devotees is like, oof, like a personified death. For what? Devotees is like soft. Huh? Now, the one question it comes, why one gets the obstacles, you know, in bhakti or anyway? Why obstacles? Why we get difficulty or obstacles? Where does obstacles comes from? This is a question, you know. And once we understand why the obstacles is coming, then you can easily understand how it can be removed also. It can be pushed far away. Now, how we come free from that obstacle. In one word, it says, हरि भक्ति का अभाव होने के कारण ही सभी प्रकार की चीजों की उत्पत्ति होती है. It says, when we lack, when there is shortage of Hari Bhakti, when there is a lack or shortage of Hari Bhakti, devotion to Hari, because of that reason, all kinds of difficulties, obstacles take birth. See where does the obstacles come from? They take birth when there is a no remembrance, when there is no bhakti, Hari Bhakti, when there is a shortage of Hari Bhakti, uh, then all the obstacles starts coming. That's the root. See one line. So then why? Why is that? See why is that? All the difficulties, obstacles come from forgetfulness. When forgetful, when there is no bhakti to Hari, shortage of bhakti, uh, shortcoming in bhakti. uh, That is the cause. Why? Why is that? How do we understand further? He says, uh, just like suppose there is a bright light, bright light. If you from bright light you go far away, what happens? We will be affected by the darkness. The more you go away from the light, when there is one light, go far away, then the darkness, you know, go far away, then more darkness, less dark. So we get affected by the darkness. So same way, Sri Hari is the foundation for fear, free from fear, then anxiety, and then ashoka, suffering. Fear, suffering is also amrita, is the, giving elixir uh, thing. So is a foundation. So when we give up is ashraya, then when we desire, give up ashraya support, is shelter. If we decide to give up the shelter of Lord, uh, then immediately all the obstacles is in our path. So they surround all around. So many difficult, so many ways. Looks like different kind of obstacles, but the root is same. Lack of Hari Bhakti, shortage of Hari Bhakti, and we are forsaking the shelter of Hari. So, so same way, Vigna, the difficulties, uh, Abhakti par karma. Uh, so that's why in these both cases, sometimes the non-devotee, you know, um, he expresses like violent hatredness. So in both cases, Sri Hari Vigna Vinashan, Sri Narasimhadev, one who destroys these difficulties and obstacles, is one and only help for the living entity suffering from that. So, so how when we come near the bright source of light, uh, so how the darkness goes away uh, automatically. See if you are in a dark, come near the light, then what happens? Automatically darkness. So same way. So by remembering the Lord, by His mercy, uh, you know, all the obstacles they all get destroyed. So and non-devotees they cannot come nearby. They cannot have influence. So so we become without any obstacles in every second. So yad vibeti swayam bhayam, yad vibeti swayam bhayam, meaning the fear personified becomes fearful. Ha ha. Okay. So the fear himself feels fear. Why is shadow? Then what obstacles can be there? Then what any obstacle can create fear? No. Right? No. That's why this is being told in this pranama in mantra. So Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namami Swaha Namamyaham. So, how Narasimha is what kind? He is Ugra. He is very. Ugram. Ugra is very strong, very uh, Veera, very powerful. Very, Mahavishnu, Jalanta. Jalanta is like full of fire. Huh? And Mukha Vishishta, Bhishana, Bhadra, and Mrityu. For the death, he is a death personified. Huh? Very strong. For such a personality, I pay obeisances. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jvalantam Sarvato. His face everywhere. Jvalantam, burning. So very, very powerful. The death feels, for the death is a death personified. Ah, for the one who creates, fear. Fear also feels fear. Ah, so like that, um, remember him. Such a personality. Now Lord Nrsimhadev, he will not tolerate obstacles to the devotees. That's why his form is like that, creating fear for non-devotees. For devotees, he does not. He does not. Like babies, like lion baby, huh? They don't feel fear. Uh, but the other animals, they will shake up. You know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is his bhakta vasali. You know, he has a parental affection for his devotees. Bhakta. So, and he is more softer than a flower. And he is the protector of bhakti, bhakta and bhakti. Huh? He protects, he honors, he protects devotee and also bhakti. Huh? Okay. And he is Adi Devata, uh, pers- you know, um, Adhishtatri Devata, he personified for protecting the devotee and the bhakti, devotion, devotee and devotion. Huh? So wherever there is a um, attack or disturbances on the devotee or on devotion, uh, uh, there is an incarnation of Lord Nrsimhadev. So that's why all glories unto Bhakta Vassala, Bhakta Vassala, one we have affection, parental Bhakta Vassala. We pray obeisances unto him. Jai, all glories to him. So the past Sati Yuga, there are 4 yugas, right? Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. Huh? Actually, Satya, Dwapara, then Treta, then Kali, but this time it got reversed. Huh? So, Treta and Dwapara. Dwapara came later. Shirakamara. It's a special arrangement. Huh? That's when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, followed by Krishna. Huh? So, Right? Because when Krishna appears, sometimes he saw when he himself appears, and he cannot also feels that oh I should also appear like Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Ah, because he feels, I told them Sarva Dharman Paritaja Mam Ekam Sharanam. Everybody should surrender to me. I'm free from all sinful. Give up everything, surrender to me. I told, but where did I practice this? You see? See, Krishna is very amazing. He's not only, like one who not just tells, not follow. No. He is actually he instructs and himself follows. See, that's the beauty. There's so kindness of Krishna. See, his great personality. Can you imagine anyone greater than Krishna? But still, when he says something, instruction, he questions himself. Hey, am I practiced that? Before I tell somebody, have I practiced myself? What I'm saying? See, this is a question himself. What an amazing personality. Lord, is so wonderful. That's why he comes, Lord Krishna himself, appears as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, puts into practice this Sarva Dharma, Mahamekam, and then shows, yes, the effect, you know, do not fear. You know. So um, that's why when this Treta, after Treta comes Dwapara, that when Krishna comes, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also follows. So anyway, in such a Satyuga, uh, Lord Narasimhadeva appeared. uh. So all these qualities we see in the pastime of Prahalad Maharaj. uh. Lord Narasimhadev, through Prahalad, he made a madhyama, meaning the teaching, or through Prahalad. Through Prahalad, Lord Narasimhadev is showing the world, teaching the whole world. What exactly is pure devotion? What is the greatness of that pure devotion? And then how every second is protecting his pure devotees. And how he is demonstrating the pure devotees and pure devotion. One who is preaching pure devotion. huh? Pure devotion. Whatever obstacles they come, Sarva is the destroyer of those obstacles. And he gives shelter for such a pure devotees and pure devotion. So that's why this pure words discussion of his pastimes by hearing, by reciting, by glorifying, by remembering uh, this passion Prahlad Nrsimhadev, we become free from all obstacles. Why Lord Nrsimhadev and the pastime of Nrsimhadev, discussion of Nrsimha pastime, of Prahlad pastime, is one and the same. Yes. It's not different from Narsimha. That's why now the Narsimha is Vishaya Vigraha. Narsimha is Vishaya Vigraha. Personality of God. Vishaya. And then Prahlad Maharaj is what? Ashraya Vigraha Bhagavan Swarupa. Ashraya Vigraha. One giving, taken shelter of Lord Narsimha. Vishaya Vigraha. That's why Prahlad is considered Ashraya Vigraha Narsimha. Vishaya Vigraha Narsimha. Huh? You understand? Just like we accept Radha and Krishna. Huh? Vishaya Vigraha Bhagavan is Krishna. Ashraya Vigraha Bhagavan is one gives shelter. Huh? And Radha. Huh? So, same way, each one, like Prahalad, is is expanding, is lightening the glories of Narasimha. Huh? And then Narasimha was also glorifying the effect, the glories of the bringing out the glories of Prahlad. So Upasya. So that's why before we worship Prahlad, Narasimha, we have to worship Prahlad. We have to worship Prahlad before we worship Narasimha Deva. That is the Vidhi. Prahlada Kleshana, Prahlada Kleshanashaya Yahi Punya Chaturdasi Pujaye Tatra Yatne Nare Prahladam Agrataha Haribhakti Vilas. Prahlada Kleshanashaya Yahi Punya Chaturdasi Pujaye Tatra Yatne Nare Prahladam Agrataha. Meaning, uh, Sri Hari came to destroy the obstacles of Prahlad. This Vaishakha Shukla Chaturdasi, he appeared on the day of Shukla Chaturdasi. So, on this Tithi, uh, before before we worship Hari, we have to worship Prahlad Maharaj. So there are two meanings before Hari, meaning first meaning is before Sri Hari, worshipping Hari, we have to worship Prahlad. That's one meaning. Also, the another meaning is in front of in front of Narasimha, we have to worship Allah. So we can take up both meaning. From this, Lord Hari becomes very pleased. See, worshipping Prahlad in front of Narasimha, you know, uh, and then Narasimha, he'll be very pleased. Is included. or worshipping Prahlad and then, So both meaning. You know. Because Prahlad, Lord Nrsimhadev will be very pleased if we worship Prahlad first. Because of him he came. Understand? If Prahlad was not there, you think Lord Nrsimhadev would have come, would have appeared. No, right? He came for Prahlad protect. So that's why we have to. So and together, So when we worship, that's why we say Prahlad. And then actually we are assisting Prahlad to worship Nrsimhadev. you know, so only Prahlad can worship Nrsimhadev. And Nrsimhadev accepts the worship from Prahlad, right? Any doubt in it? So if you request Prahlad, hey Prahlad, please, no. So we worship Prahlad. Prahlad, see, and Prahlad does. So that way, that way. So, Prahlada Kleshanashaya hi punya chaturdasi pujaye tatra yatnena re Prahladam grataha agrata. Prahladam, keeping Prahlad in the front. You know. And we can see later on, Brahma, Shiva, everybody, when Lord Nation gave, they were all afraid. Even Lakshmi was afraid. Go near him. Nobody dared to go near Narasimha. It was so well, you know, after killing Hiranyakashipu and all those demons, he sat on the chair. No, everybody. I mean, he was breathing so heavily and fire was coming out. You know, the, the clouds were all, So that time was so fearful. The, the fear himself felt fear. The death person felt death. If death personality feels, he himself is getting, what can you say? So it's amazing. Then what happens? Then Brahma, he understood, he requested Prahlad, please go. Everybody was fearful going near Narasimha. So fearful. Then Prahlad went there. As soon as he went, Lord, all his anger, his, fearsome, fearsome, thing all went away, touched it, just like Lord became so pleased and, immediately, So, that's why the affection, you know, to Prahlad. Yeah. And we can see only through Prahlad we can approach. You know. Otherwise, so, and when he says that we are surrendered to Prahlad, this, Prahlad, then Lord automatically bestows his mercy, his protection through Prahlad. See, that is the key. That is why. So, as much as we remember Narasimha, we should remember Prahlad. Get it? Get it? We have to remember both Ashraya Vigraha and Vishaya Vigraha. You know, otherwise it's 50-50. No use. No. So we have to remember. So there is a pastime of Prahlad. Even though Prahlad is Nitya Siddha Parshada, meaning he is eternally associate of Narasimha, right? Prahlad. Like we were telling, Lord Narasimha was a one planet in this spiritual world. Narasimha, Prahlad stays all the time there. He is eternal associate. Even then, sometimes we see, for example, in Krishna's pastime, Nanda and Yashamati, they are also eternally parents of Krishna. They are his associates. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Drona and Dara. We can see like a practitioner. Huh? What the Drona and Dara, they did so much austerities, remember? And they prayed from Brahma. Oh, he was parental affection for the Lord. Then what happened? Drona and Dara entered Nanda Maharaj. Yashoda. Drona entered Nanda Maharaj. Dara entered Yashoda. You know? So that way they had. So same way, uh, in Brihad Naradiya Purana, there is a pastime of Prahlad also like that. So when Prahlad wanted to know his previous life thing, so Swam Bhagwan, Lord Narasimhadev himself, he told Narasimha. Lord Narasimhadev telling Prahlad, Prahlad, you were in the past life. This is what happened to you. This is what it is. So there was this is Prahlad, Narasimhadev telling Prahlad. You know what he's telling? Long time back in the Avanti town, there was a Vasu Sharma. There was a Brahmana. His name was Vasu Sharma. Sharma is the last name for Brahmanas. Even in India, in North India, Sharma meaning uh, like Mishra, like Jagannath Mishra, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father, Brahman. Huh? So Mishra Sharma, also Sharma. There was a Brahman, Vedic. He was very expert in all following the Vedic yeah, uh, kriyas and all that activities. So he was so pure, he cannot do any bad things. No. So that's why he was very dear to the demigods. His wife also Sushila, just like the name Sushila, all good qualities, expert, exceptional quality. She was very good, she was expert. She was Pativrata Ramani, very dedicated to the husband. She was very famous. And gradually they had 5 children. Even though the parents are exception, each one, we understand, each are exception. And they had 5 children. So they were all very devoted to his parents. Huh? They were all, uh, they are all very good qualities. And they were also well learned. But out of that, the last one, see, this is amazing. Even though the parents are exception, what happened to the fifth child? This is amazing. So the fifth one, he was opposite of the first 4 children. They were all dedicated to mother, They were all well learned. Their behavior was the exception. But the last one is the opposite of all these. He was very much attracted to the prostitutes. So that's because he was attracted to prostitutes, he lost, he was not well educated. He lost his interest in education. Up to this point, he was drinking liquor, uh, and he was, without hesitation, he was doing all sinful activities. Then he was engaged, he was most of the time spending time with the prostitute in the prostitute's house. So one time what happened was, uh, there was, yeah, both of them, there was a quarrel, you know, that prostitute and then him, uh, this Vasudeva, last one. So then what happened? Uh, because of that, anger, quarrel and all that, still they have become angry, and then they are upset, some anger. They argument. They, in that argument and then upset, what happened was he did not eat anything and also no sleep. Now, sometimes it happens. You are so upset, you don't feel like eating, you don't feel sleeping or anything like that. Totally. So they 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 did not do eating. But what happened by some coincidence that day was Narasimha Chaturdasi. So unknowingly they were did fasting and no sleep. And so not that knowingly they have did it, but by chance they were angry, this, that, quarrelsome, this, that, heavy. So they did not eat anything, no sleep. Now it happened. Upset totally. So they did not eat or sleep in the night. But it so happened that day was Narasimha Chaturasi. What happened? And unknowingly they got the fruit of that, following Narasimha Chaturasi. So because of that, uh, you know, she- the, they became purified. Uh, so then, of course, they also, uh, even though she became Apsara, they eventually went back to Narasimha's loka. So this Vasudeva, this lost son, was prostitutes and all. What happens? Uh, he appeared as Prahalad. He, in next life, he appeared as Prahalad. Next. In other words, he entered Prahalad, the eternal associate of Lord Narasimhadev, Prahalad. You got it. So So Lord Nrsimhadev, after telling this history, and he is telling, oh Prahlad, you have appeared in this world to begin huh, the Shuddha Bhakti Pravartan, to initiate the appearance of Shuddha, pure devotion. You have appeared for this, for that purpose only. Then after this service of bringing out pure devotion, showing to the people, demonstrating, implementing, preaching the Shuddha Bhakti, you will come back to my uh, the planet, is Vaikuntha planet. uh. Now we have to understand how the associate of associate of Lord uh, will appear. ಏನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ನಾವು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಈಗ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಈಗ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ 25,000 ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಏನು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಹಾ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊ so we have to understand how uh, the associates of Lord, how they appear. Is it because of the like karma pala, because of some past karma like that? No. Only by the desire of the Lord for a special work, for special duty to establish certain special thing, they appear. You know. So not like ordinary people. Ordinary people go through so many difficulties, this and because of their past karma. But when a pure devotee goes through all these difficulties, it's not due to his karma, he has no karma. But he is going through similar activity, similar situation because of what? Because by the arrangement of Krishna, by the arrangement of the Lord, you know, arrangement of Narsimha Deva, Prahlad is going through these difficulties. See, certain things we have to understand. Uh, how, see, Indra was thinking when Prahlad was born, oh, Hiranyakashipu is so bad, so bad. Imagine his son will be so even more demoniac. That's why it is better to kill him before he takes birth. You see, Kaldu. Then what happened? When we see later on, Narada Muni came and he said, hey Indra, you don't know who is in their home. Is a devotee. You cannot do anything. So how is it possible? A devotee born in the demonic family. You see, the special arrangement. That itself it shows the special arrangement. That's why Allah does not have any karma. in the desire of the Lord and fulfill the desire, is an instrument in the dance. And he puts into these situations. But Lord is putting in and then also is protecting. So he is setting it. So that's why they come. Huh? But from the external point of view, looks like going through so much difficulty. Wow. No, nobody wants such a kind of difficult situation. So much, anxiety, uh, suffering. Huh? Uh, so, but he is demonstrating Shuddha Bhakti and then the pure devotee, how how he feels and how he behaves in such a extreme, harsh situations. You understand? To demonstrate that. How a pure devotee will not even get a little disturbed, any kind of situation, you know, and he never forgets, even for a second. That's why I remember the definition of all the obstacles is what? Forgetfulness of Krishna is the root of obstacle, nothing else. That's why this is called Krishna consciousness. If you are Krishna conscious, see Krishna everywhere, behind, front, in every background. I should remind us Krishna. Any difficulty situation, any person, very, uh, in any situation, remember Krishna. Then that thing will go away, will vanish. huh. So then those things will not influence us, you know. So we establish that. So if suppose if Prahlad was not put into this situation, then how a ignorant person he will understand. He will understand. He will feel yes. There is no example. See, mainly we learn by example. Examples is necessary, especially when we see in the front. You know, see when an incident happens right in front of us, we develop so much faith because it happened right in front of us. You know how is it impossible when it's impossible becoming possible right in front. We have so much. We develop so much faith. So that's why these examples are necessary for others. Wow, look at that. So much like the Draupadi. You understand. Prahlad also you understand. Draupadi's case also in one sense. But can you imagine? In front of husbands, in front of thousands of people, lakhs of people, she is being disrobed. What a situation. Bah. Can any ordinary person can go through that? You know, they will get. I mean, see, but how she tried herself. At least Prahlad, he did not even try. That's the difference. Draupadi and Prahlad. Draupadi tried herself, holding her and trying to Bhishma. Oh, Father Bhishma. Please tell these people. And nothing happened. He became quiet. And then our own strength, how much? A lady's strength. Then she said, oh, oh, Govinda Dama, Dharma, Govinda Damo, Dharma, I have no strength, Lord. Only you have to protect me. Govinda. See, then what happened? Krishna immediately appeared there in what? In the form of cloth. He entered the cloth, and Krishna is unlimited. So the cloth also became unlimited because he entered there. He touched it. The cloth became non-different from Krishna. So what can you do? Pulling, become infinite. How the Shastra had a strength of 10,000 elephants. Even then, nothing happened. But Prahlad here, what is the difference? He didn't even bother to protect himself. He said, he remembered nothing. Hare Krishna. So, no, nothing, not even touch. So, so we, that's why it is, so Krishna puts into devotees because then when the non-devotees see, wow, look at that. Wow, so they are so devoted. That's when, see, the devotees showing the glories of Lord, how Lord came. And Lord is also showing the greatness of devotion, devotees. See, both are reciprocal, both are necessary. Both are. That's why. But it is not due to the karma. Of course, the devotee will feel like that. Like Haridas Thakur feeling, "Oh Lord, actually, I need more suffering. Even though they are hitting me, because I have offended you so many times. I have associated with so many non-devotees. Actually, I deserve more. I'm suffering because see, the devotees feel like that, but they might feel like that, but in reality, it is not the the suffering, appearance of suffering is due to the sinful, past sinful activities. It is not. Huh? But in the how to learn, then you remember, wow, look at that person. Then what happens in the case of Haridas Thakur? Then all Muslims, wow, they say, wow, he is actually godly person. Wow. They change. They change. See, that's the whole thing. That's why devotees go through this. Pure devotee, especially going through difficulty, not of that, but to set an example, and also to make an impact on those non-devotees. In spite of this, wow, you know, I should also surrender like that, get into bhakti, because nothing else will protect us. Okay, other than devotion. So after the end of the that pastime, they go back to very happily into the spiritual world. Huh? But what they live here, their pure, most auspicious, you know, their pastimes, their glorious greatness by hearing and then also telling about them. So many people become elevated, delivered from this world. See? If Prahlad did not happen only in the spiritual world, how we will have a chance for deliverance? How if, you know, pastime of Haridas Thakur did not happen, how we will have a chance for deliverance? You know, by hearing that and then same way repeating the same thing to others, you know, both will get delivered. You know, only here. That's why these pastimes. You know. Now, oh, today is our question and answer. Hi, sorry. So, can we have some more questions and we will continue Allah later on. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Vancha kalpatarubyasya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Last time you talked about giving the fruit of chanting and observing ekas to other living entities. So I have a few questions regarding this. Giving the fruit of chanting and observing ekas. If I give the fruit to another living entity, does it mean that all the credits and results go to that person and I will have none? Or do we both get some benefits? Huh? Can I give the fruits to more than one living entity? If I give the fruit to 5%, do they each get 20%? Or how does not count like this? If I gave the fruits to someone who passed away and knowing that he already took another birth, will he still get the benefits? Maybe in his new life form? Is it recommended to share the fruits to all the living entities every time we chant and observe Ekadasi? It seems like by doing this, all the sins of human race will gradually be eliminated. Wow, very wonderful question, very nice. See, I will give you one pastime. That way you understand. One or two pastime. All these questions you will understand. See, one time I told you this, but I will repeat from a different perspective. You will understand. One time, Janaka Maharaj, remember Janaka Maharaj, the foster father of Mother Sita. You know, Sita did not appear from the mother's womb. Okay, just like Radharani found on a lotus. Huh? The same way, when Janak Maharaj was plowing the land, that plow got stuck in a box. He opened and then she was there, Sita, baby Sita. Huh? And then he gave it to his wife, and then she brought them up, daughter, okay, foster father. So, but he was a great devotee. He was well learned, you know. Uh, he had a great quality. So, what happened was at the end, when Lord Ramchandra did his Leela, and he announced everybody, dum 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 dum. Anybody wants to come with me to the spiritual world, they can come. Many people went, and how they went? They went to the Saryu River. They took a dip. They got the spiritual body, and they entered the spiritual aeroplanes, and then went back. Many did not go. They said, "Oh, we have this, I have this, I have this." That's what happened. But then at that time, after that, the Janak Maharaj was doing his austerity somewhere in a forest. He was chanting, he was remembering the Lord's name, you know, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, like that. Taram. Then he is a pure devotee. He was uttering. So pure name. Then what happened one day? A plane came from the spiritual world. Oh, Janak Maharaj, please come. We have to take it to we are taking it to spiritual world. So he entered the spiritual the plane, right? The plane going up, start going, but it did not go directly to spiritual world. It went to the hellish planet, you know, and it is there on top, not it landed, landing, trying to land. Meantime, in the hellish planet, I told you, described, we get a different body. See, this body, like human form or any animal form and all that, we, human form, like, in this planet, we are in the middle, more suffering and then enjoy suffering. In the hellish planet is extreme, only suffering, suffering, suffering. Even if they cut off your hand, you will not die. Here, we will die in couple of minutes, okay? I explained. All blood will go away and then unconscious die. But there is no unconsciousness. In the hellish planet, you don't feel unconscious. You feel pain, you have to tolerate it. That's why they gave you different body to tolerate all this. Because you have done so many atrocities, you cannot forget. You have to experience how other things are. You know. So that's why it's called hellish. Yeah, suffering all the time, 24 hours. Yeah, suffering only 24 hours suffering. In the devatas, 24 hours enjoyment. You know. So in either place, they cannot remember Krishna. Of course, Prahalad, like that personality, he will remember. Otherwise, ordinary people will not be able to remember. So 24 hours, it will be pain, pain, pain. Otherwise, a sense gratification 24 hours, where see both places you don't remember. That's why in this material world, it's 50-50. Okay. So we are suffering sometimes. So there's a chance to remember. So anyway, so when the plane started, came there, descending, the wind blowing through the airplane, because by touch of Janak Maharaj, pure devotee, these people felt, refreshed. They felt little pleasure. They become free from the suffering, this suffering, the wind itself. This is that what has happened. In the presence of a pure devotee, the influence, material influence will not be there. By darshan, by indirect touch, you know, you become free from the influence of this material world. So they felt, relief from this suffering. Oh, feel good. First time in their in the hellish planet. So they were all crying, oh, we don't know who we are. Please don't abandon us. Don't abandon us. Please don't abandon us. Don't give us enough. Don't go away. Come down, or stay there. Come down, come down. So they are all requesting him to come down. So they came down. And then Yamaraj also came. He said, "Oh, Janak Maharaj, don't come out, you know, don't come. You go back immediately to the spiritual world, immediately." Then Janak Maharaj is telling, Vaishnava, he feels the pain of others. He saw pain of others and how they are telling, crying, don't abandon us, don't abandon us. Please stay here, stay here, stay here. And then Amraj is saying, go, 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 go. You see, he's caught between it. Then Janak Maharaj is saying, hey, Yamaraj, you are merciless. You are making them, suffer so much. If you want me to go, and how I can go now? They are all crying. Stay here, stay here, stay here. Don't abandon us. They are crying. Uh, Paradu, Vaishnava is a Paradukha Dukhi. He doesn't feel any pain of anything of himself. But when he sees others suffering, he feels the pain. So he says, no, no, how can I abandon them? How can I go? Knowing that they're crying for my presence here. They're getting relief from my presence. So how can I abandon? No, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Yamraj said, no, 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 you should go. You are not qualified to stay here. You have no business here. But then Jankumar, all right. Why don't you send them also to Vaikunta? Then I will also happily go with them, all of them. No, that is not possible. Then how? But he can do it. See, Yamaraj is telling him to do. He can do. Who? Janak Maharaj. So, wow, he said, you took one name, pure name of Lord. You uttered the name of Lord Hari purely. You gave that charity to all these people. See, not one or two, millions, one name. What happened? He is very happy. He took, I'm giving charity of one, use the name to all these people. What happened? Everybody became pure. All their sin was destroyed. The plane came, millions of planes, and they entered plane and then going. All glories to Janagam, all glories to Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram. Then, of course, what happens is, this is the relation to these questions, right? How we understand. Now, of course, Janagam is asking, wait a minute, why did I come here? He is saying, I was supposed to go to work. Then he said he did little bit difficulty. Cow was churning, he came in between. Unknowingly that happened. That's why you have to take the darshan of, the gateway to the hellish planet, not to enter there, not to stay there, just to look at it and then go. So you have done it, now you can go. But then Lord Rama was so, see, he did not forget the hellish planet. He delivered the whole planet. Whoever wanted to go, at that time he did not forget the hellish planet. Through his name, power of his name, agency of you. See, both has to be there. Holy name is there. And the agent, carrier must be there also. Through you, he delivered the whole. Please, now we go to spiritual world. So in this case, even though, see, chanting, right? Pure now. Of course, may not be chanting purely, but that's why so many rounds. It will have some effect. Some name may be Abbas, get it? Or even name may not be Abbas, still is effective. Huh? So, Janak Maharaj offered that full name, holy name, and now not that he lost his, name, He also went to the spiritual world. And how many people he delivered? Not one, two, millions by just one. So that's why, so if we give fruit to another living entity, it doesn't mean that all credits will go to them and we become zero. You know, we will have equally also. Equally we will also have. Because the holy name, these things are transcendental. Like you remember the mathematics, in the spiritual mathematics, 1 plus 1 is also 1, 1 minus 1 is also 1. Okay. Okay. Plus minus no difference. So even if you give, you still have it. Still have it. So that's why, don't worry about that. Then more than one person, sure, you know. But of course, it depends on our purity, you know, how sincerely we have done chanted, how sincerely we have done the Ekadasi. See, just like one pure name, just like in this case, you know, Janak Maharaj. Same way, one pure Ekadasi is also equally powerful. Of course, Ekadasi and Nama, you cannot separate it. Both have to go together. So, like that. That's why we give so many times, so many people. But you also have to be careful. Now, of course, we cannot, we leave it to the hands of Vishnu, Guru and Vishnu, Lord. Lord, I've done to please you. Now you do this with anybody you like it. See, we give a chance to him. Unless some specific cases where some relatives or friends they ask or need to be, you feel you can give them. Okay. You pray to the Lord. Take the permission of Lord and Guru. Can I do this like that? So if you like, oh Lord, according to the capacity I have done this to please you with that intention, to please him. Now please give this, make this arrangement of giving this fruit to this such and such a personality because they need it. You can also pray like that, no problem. Huh? So, and it's not that you have and become 20%. Of course, it depends on our purity. Huh? Uh, Purity. Huh? So, and also, if, suppose you give this fruit to someone who passed away, he has taken another birth. Will he get the benefit? Definitely. Wherever he is taken birth, it changes. You start doing Ekadasi. Get it? And suppose he has to suffer something, it will not happen. Changes. So, like that. They will also, everybody, whether they are living or passed away or taken birth somewhere else, they will get benefited. Huh? Not that they have to wait for another life. No. From wherever they are in that uh, situation. Now, the fourth one is true, like there were many devotees, like Vasudev Datta, who prayed to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh Lord, I'm willing to take sin of everybody. Let me suffer forever in the hellish planet. You please deliver every one of them. See, that was his prayer. Not everybody can pray like that. You know. Oh, Prahlad Maharaj, Vasudev Datta, Haridas Thakur, they are exceptional. You know. Of course, he can desire, no problem. There is nothing wrong in desiring like that. Huh? that you deliver the whole world. But at the same time, we feel helpless. Lord, only He can do, your pure devotees can do that. And it's one of the prayers that we sing. Um, it is there. Um, Vaishnava Prarthana. Next time I will come pray Vaishnava Prarthana. Yeah. In that, mm, I don't have Gita Kucha here, but in that Vaishnava Prarthana, uh, Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnaver. In that bhajan, there is one line where every devotee of Mahaprabhu capable of delivering the whole universe, you know, they want. They are capable because they are chanting full pure name. And imagine one pure name, what we did. Bah, you know, one Abbas will wipe out every, entire many millions of lifetimes. Say Abbas, meaning semblance of the pure name. What to speak of pure name? Oof. So we chant. That's why we should chant. When we're chanting, we listen, lock up, not and then avoid these offenses, offensive chanting. Gradually. You know. So these things happens gradually. So let us give this to the hand of Lord, please, to the Lord and the Guru. They can do whatever they want. But in some special cases, we can also request them. Oh Lord, is it okay if I do this? And Lord will be more pleased that way. So, and also, you don't have to worry about your own parents or grandparents and all that. If you become even a canistas, even a most simple devotee, 7 lifetimes, 7 lives before, they all get delivered. You don't have to worry. So you don't have to pray for them. If you become a devotee, automatically, pure devotee up to 21 generations. And so like that, uh, they will be delivered. Don't have to worry. Mhm. Because of Prahlad, see, Hiranyakashipu, what a demon. See, he got delivered later on. May not, you know. So, the future also, like Prahlad grandsons and all that, they were becomes, they are recipient, influence of Prahlad Maharaj. So, same way, they will be so beneficial. Of course, those people may not realize it. They say, oh, no, we, my son or a daughter became a devotee. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But even by mimicking, saying Hare Krishna, they are getting benefited. See, it is some kind of avas. You know, it is not an offensive chanting, it's an abbas, semblance, because they are making fun, making the way they are telling. They get benefited either way. That's why somehow or the other we should make them chant Hare Krishna. Even if we don't, they will do in the next life. Don't worry about them. Okay, your immediate thing is matter of time. Okay, definitely going to work. So be convinced of it. You know, so many examples are there. So our time is up. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Send us prompt to everybody. Please forgive me for the delay.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Uh,
दंडवत प्रणाम गुरुदेव दंडवत प्रणाम
दंडवत
Hare
प्रणाम
Krishna,
महाराज.
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण.
Krishna, Hare
धन्यवाद
Hare,
प्रणाम करो।
Hare Ram,